Oh, hello, what is going on, ladies and gents? We have a lot to talk about today, so I thought instead of doing a video, we would just do a quick live stream here so we can talk about some things and get ready for whatever is going to be happening next. Kind of go over some of the things that we are planning on the channel for the next month, that kind of thing here. Yeah, so I'll wait for you guys to trickle in here. This was pretty much unplanned. I was going to do a video, but I was just like, I might as well just do a stream to go over some of this stuff. So, but I hope everyone is having a good day. It's Thursday. Let me take this thing off that I don't need on there. Good morning, Eileen. What's up? Hopefully you're having a good day. Brandon says Hitman 3. Well, we know we're going to come to that decision. So that's a big decision we need to make. And I think that's something I think a lot of people would probably really enjoy. But yeah, we'll come up with that decision here. What's up, Keenan? How you doing, bud? Almost Friday and payday. Well, that's great for you. I hope you get to go out, relax, enjoy the weekend, and have a great time, Aline. All right, so first things first, let's talk about a few things. First things first is I want to talk about the 24/7 stuff. So I know I put a post on the community page about the 24/7 thing that we're doing. So let me just kind of explain what my thoughts are for that and why I decided to do this 24/7 stream thing, which is going to be going on from now on. So just get used to Strain being live all the time. Okay. So I don't want people to get confused and all that kind of stuff. So I need to make sure that I explain it here, at least for those, that come to the channel and, I want to make sure you guys understand what's going on. So the big thing about the 24/7 is that it's essentially a repeat playthroughs of some of my best walkthroughs or favorite series, things like that. So if it's a series, it could be like we did with Hitman or Splinter Cell or Metal Gear, or like we're doing currently with the Resident Evil series. It could be, just so many different topics. It could be Spider-Man games. It could be whatever. What I'm essentially doing is just putting my playthroughs together that I've done over the years that fit into a kind of a series. Could be Assassin's Creed series. There's all different types of things. I've got over 9,000 videos on this channel. I mean, yeah, we've got a lot of videos on this channel. So as I've done this, back in the days when I used to do it in just video format, it was all parts. So every walkthrough that you could only do 10 minutes of, would have 60, 70, 80 parts. And we've done a lot of videos. There's probably so many videos on this channel that you guys that are watching have never seen, because it's all, and I can even go to my channel so you guys can see this. It's all essentially just in my, in my back catalog of things that you probably have not really watched. So for those of you that are newer, maybe you've only been here for a few years or whatever, you come here and you see what's on the top. I've tried to curate this list so that everyone can see what I feel to be important enough for you guys to check out. But that also leaves a lot of things that a lot of people probably don't know about. Because if you go lower, you'll start to see things that I've done over the past, so many years or whatever. But see, right now, it only shows from 14 on, but I've been doing walkthroughs and stuff since before, since 2010 on this channel when we started this channel. So there's probably so many games or maybe one-off things that I haven't put in a playlist that are on this channel that you probably never even seen. So there's just so many things that I've done. I mean, if it's a video game that was slightly popular outside of anything that's strategy game wise or turn-based games, I really don't enjoy turn-based games as much, or strategy games. I've probably covered a portion of it over, my lifespan, but there's so many videos on this channel that I'm sure a lot of you have never looked. 9.4 thousand videos. That's quite a lot of videos if you think about it. But yeah, so there's so much stuff on there. So I want you guys just to make sure that you get used to this always being up there, this 24/7 thing. All right. So the 24/7 thing, it's going to be here to stay. Essentially, as long as it makes $30 a month, then it's going to stay, because then it's helping the channel. It's really meant not necessarily for you guys. It's not really for the folks that have been here for years watching my content. It's mostly to try to bring in new people that don't have a chance. Like when I bring up a certain series, right? If you go into, like, say, Resident Evil, right? Let's just use this as an example. I'm gonna type in Resident Evil. So when you type in Resident, now this is my search, so I don't know what's going to appear on your searches, right? But at least on my search, my stream shows up, the third one. That's pretty cool. That's the whole point. At least it's showing up higher, because if you look, there's no other videos of my Resident Evil walkthroughs. You've seen all the walkthroughs that I've done over the years. It is taken over by all of this. And you could probably go down for years before you will even get to a single one of my walkthrough videos, at least on my page. I don't know how it is for you. I definitely recommend all of you to explore this option and see if you've been not blacklisted, but to see if you've been taken away from my channel. So one of the biggest things you can do is type in a series of a game that I've done and see where I show up on the search engines. If you see I don't show up till very much lower, then that means you most likely don't have me on your, show all notifications, essentially. So, I mean, we could go down further and further. Look, I'm still nowhere to be seen for Resident Evil. Still not. I mean, you'll see all these other channels before you will ever see me. Look, you even see shorts before you see me. Now, granted, my stream is showing now because I'm live right now, but as you can see, you could just keep going and I'm nowhere in sight. None of my walkthroughs, nothing. So for a new person, it's almost impossible to find me for anything Resident Evil, unless you're searching right now because I'm live doing that thing. So that is the point of the 24/7 streams. So that way people know that there's a reason I'm doing it. I'm not just doing it randomly. I'm doing it because I'm trying to bring in new folks to the channel. So when people are currently, while it's live, are searching Resident Evil, they come up and they see that, okay, this person's live doing all the games or whatever, and then they see, maybe they enjoy the gameplay they see from the stream. And then what do? Hopefully they subscribe, and then they go and check out my other videos. That's the whole point of it. And I could do that for any other type of series of games, like say Assassin's Creed. You just type that in here. Obviously I'm not live, so I won't show up here. But look, even if you look, Assassin's Creed, I'm very, very well known for doing Assassin's Creed walkthroughs. But if you look, a Hitman video of mine shows up before any Assassin's Creed video of mine. Make it make sense. Maybe because it's under previous watched for some reason, I guess. But yeah, you could see like nothing's on there. I got a message from Vic. What does he want? All right. So, but yeah, you could go completely down and see that I'm nowhere. So if anybody was searching Assassin's Creed and they typed in Assassin's Creed, anybody knew if you don't know of me, then I'm nowhere in here. Nowhere. Look at this. I don't like the way YouTube does its new search stuff, because what it does sucks for creators, because it puts a few things at the top, then it stops, and then it goes to curated for you, channels new to you. And then it goes for another thing people searched for. Then it goes previously watched. So you don't get a full list of all these, things. Hey, Vic's here. I just told you to come here. Yeah. So that's why the 24/7 streams are happening, because this again gives me an opportunity to allow people to see me that wouldn't normally be able to see me. Now, let's say I typed in Assassin's Creed walkthrough. I might show up a little bit better in this one just because you've actually put in Assassin's Creed walkthrough on it. But let's see. Where am I? I don't see me yet. There I am. So my first one is, about five or six down, my original Assassin's Creed 1. But then you could keep going and you could still see that all the big guys are there, and for some reason, Explore More, my thing's showing up there. My Hitman's. But no more Assassin's Creed. So all of my cool walkthroughs that I've done of Assassin's Creed over the years, I no longer really get views for those anymore. So, and then you could go by, like say a specific game. Let's say it was Assassin's Creed 3 walkthrough. I might show up closer to the top. Yay, there we go. Because I recently did an Assassin's Creed 3 remastered 100% walkthrough. So that's why that shows up there. But my original one, I don't see anywhere near. That's also another good reason why it's not a bad idea to redo walkthroughs sometimes, because then it puts you on the map for that specific series or game, so it gets people interested in talking. Hey, Vic, I wanted to make sure to let you know, Jen and I are doing a stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's one of those fun ones that we're going to do, getting a chance to play with everybody. So come play some stuff with us. I think we're going to be doing some Jackbox games where everybody in the audience will be able to participate. And it's going to be like our Halloween kind of drunky stream, so it'll be really fun. Okay, so that kind of explains why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as the 24/7. Now, I'm very transparent, so very, very transparent, and you guys know me, and I want you guys to know. So my Hitman one did pretty well. So the 24/7 of our Hitman thing did really, really well. It kind of shot up. So the reason I put that post in the comment section was specifically there was a bunch of people that were in the stream of the Hitman thing, right? And they were saying all of a sudden when I got a bunch of views that it's being view botted and I'm cheating and all that kind of stuff. So I put the post on there to let everybody know I don't think I got view botted because first of all, I didn't do it, so I have no idea. Second of all, it seems like it wasn't view botted because all of the analytics from the stream itself is showing that they're real. So I don't think it was view botted, but I think we just hit a formula that that YouTube said, okay, we're going to spread your video out more. And then it spread it out to a lot of people and a lot of people got to see it. So that was my best video that I've had in probably 2 or 3 years. Just that stream, that 24/7 stream that we did for the Hitman series was absolutely freaking amazing. It actually, it's helped the channel out a little bit. As far as that goes, Vic, I don't know if we're not really doing a drinking game because I don't like that kind of thing. I don't like to say, hey, if you give us money, we'll drink whatever, but donations are always helpful. We're just going to hopefully have fun and all that kind of stuff. So we are going to have some drinks and whatnot. So, but I don't usually like to label that kind of stuff because I feel like it's just, we just want to have a good time with everybody and hopefully, have a lot of fun. Especially because Jen's been so sick over the last, few months, and I've been sick too. I got another bug for whatever reason. So our water was contaminated. We got a letter in the mail from the water company in the area that our tap water was contaminated. And I use the tap water. I'm like the only one in the family that uses the tap water. But I used it because I eat things like ramen noodles. We don't cook them in the on the stove. She makes them in the microwave. And, from washing hands, I always wash my hands in the sink, which I should probably, use hand sanitizer more or whatever. But anyways, I had a big stomach bug over the last week where like my stomach has just been wrecked. So I'm finally starting to get over that now. which is a reason why I haven't been streaming the last 2 days, which is also another good reason to have that 24/7 thing up, which has actually helped us out when I physically couldn't stream, myself and all that good stuff. So it's really helped us. But another one of the main reasons, so we talked about 24/7. We talked about why the 24/7 is up, why I mentioned the thing about the 24/7. It really did well. So the Hitman's really the only one that's done well, should I say. The other ones, they're okay. I mean, Splinter Cell did okay, but Resident Evil's only getting around 14 views. I don't know what's going on here. I thought there'd be more people interested in this one, but it's not up there. It's only up there to bring new people in. So if these 14 people are newer to the channel, I hope, and usually the analytics will, kind of like show us that. So let's look at the Splinter Cell live stream. Let's see how that one did. If we go over that one. So if we go down here, we go to the Splinter Cell. Here we go. So now you get a chance to see so the Splinter Cell one went 100 hours. So that was obviously more than just a few days. I think we had in there roughly around 50 to 60, 70 people most of the time. The peak, the most people that we got in that entire thing was 73 people. So it didn't break out, big time. But the average was just 26 over the entire 100 hours. And you can kind of see that it got its most amount of viewers within the first hour of me doing it. And then it just was on a steady decline. And then it would go up, when the day started again, and then it go back down when it go night. And then it go back up again when the day, and it go down, And so the whole point is to try to get more people on, on the channel. So you look at audience, and you can see casual viewers, regular viewers, that kind of thing. You can see subscribed, not subscribed. So you could see just from here, 16% of the people that watched that stream were not subscribed. So that's not a good number. We want to try to get that number higher. So most of you are the ones that watched our Splinter Cell stream. Now we still made, I would say, a decent amount of money for it. I mean, because it did take me a day to put all the videos together and stuff, but we still made $60 from it. So the whole thing to even do it is $30 is what it costs to have the stream up. It costs $30 for me to make one stream because I use this website that does it for me, so I don't have to use my own internet. But it's just, again, it's a way to hopefully bring in new people. So it did pretty well. I'll take that. Obviously, it looks like Resident Evil won't be as good, but we did break some pretty freaking crazy numbers if you take a look at this. I mean, look at this, because see, we're all like down here in the middle, just trucking along. And then all of a sudden, boom. And that was because of Hitman. So look at this and just, yes, this is crazy. I was not expecting this, but it's real. It's not fake. So, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it, but we got up the peak that it got up to during, I want to say it was about a 24-hour period that I think YouTube opened up I don't know what you call it, man, but like I went to bed, when I went to bed, I think there was like 60 people in there. And then all of a sudden over the night, we started getting more. You see how it starts going up here, and then it's just gradually staying around 130. This was on like last Saturday. So I had about 100 and something in there for the entire Saturday. And then all of a sudden at nighttime, this is now Saturday night, it starts going up, and then it starts going up more. And then boom, this was by the time I was in bed over the night, it went up to, it looks like it got up to, YouTube opened the floodgates. I don't know what it was, but it just goes to show you that YouTube has every inch of every channel. And like all they have to do is just hit a little button, and then boom, you just get a big boost in numbers. Because it gets sent out to so many more people. Now, I don't know if that's because people are leaving likes, sharing and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it lasted pretty much a whole day. And then it, started going back down. Then it went like down big time here, but then it went back up again here. And it got back up to almost 4,000 again. And then it did a, Now this is over 100 hours. So this is not like over 5 minutes. I don't want you to think like this happened in 5 minutes, whatever. This right here is what took place in the matter of about a day and a half. From pretty much here all the way to here is about a day and a half. So it just got really, really big. And then we ended up averaging about 512. And you can see it's mostly from the browse feature. So when people are browsing through their, YouTube or whatever, it shows up. A lot of people in there actually said something about, they went to bed with a certain thing watching on YouTube, and then they woke up in the morning and my stream was on. That's like the browsing thing. So it's like when that means YouTube is recommending the stream, and you know how it auto plays to the next video. So that's, I don't know what happened, guys, but it did. It happened. We got a huge mass amount of watch time from it. And you can see, like, if we go over it just shows the last 40 hours. That's why it says nothing here, because it can't anymore. Because if you look, all of these videos can no longer be seen, because when you do 24 hours or over 24 hours, you cannot click on this anymore. So I just need to actually make these private, because nobody can see them. Once they hit over 12 hours, you can no longer view them. So I might as well just make them private. But, well, no, I never sounded sick. It was a stomach bug. It wasn't like a voice bug or anything like that. So it was like me literally, I hadn't eaten, I didn't eat anything for like 2 days straight, because anytime I put any food in my mouth, I just immediately went to the bathroom. So it was, you guys saw a little bit of that when I finished the stream for Ghost of Yote, when we got the platinum, and I had to spend like 5 or 10 minutes away. So that was kind of like when it was starting and during the middle of it and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, so always expect one of these to be on there. I just want to make sure you guys know that it's going to be, there's always going to be something. Sometimes it might be Metal Gear, sometimes it might be another Hitman, but yeah. And let me show you the site that I'm actually using, because I'm very transparent when I do my stuff. So this is what I'm using. And essentially, yeah. So we just you click on this here. I'm actually streaming to 2 different places right now. I'm streaming to Twitch and I'm streaming to YouTube. So it allows you to do, So what I do is I downloaded all of my videos for my entire Resident Evil series. So you can see all these parts here. And then it goes to the Resident Evil Remastered. And then the Chris, because we did 2 playthroughs on that one. And then Resident Evil 2, we had Leon. And right now, currently live, it is on Resident Evil 2 Remake with Claire. You can see it's playing right there. And so after that, it's going to go to the Resident Evil 3 Remake. Then Resident Evil 4, the original Resident Evil 4 will start. And then there's 19 parts there. Then it goes to Resident Evil 5, which was my original playthrough from like 2012. With my ex-wife, Carrie. So that will be a fun and interesting one for a lot of you that are new. My ex-wife and I did this co-op walkthrough together. So that's the only coverage I have of Resident Evil 5. I haven't made a new version of it, in 15 years or 13 years, I guess. Then it goes to Resident Evil 6, and it'll be my full Resident Evil 6. There's the Leon part. Then there's the Chris Redfield part, and then there's the Jake part. Very long game. And then, of course, Resident Evil 7 will have 2 parts, because that's our Let's Play that we did right before Resident Evil Village came out. And then we have our Village playthrough that we did, and that's, of course, all the mainline games. But total, it's 68 hours, as you can see right here. So it's a very, very long time to go through all the games. Now, there was a snag yesterday. I don't know what happened. I left the stream for a while. It was in the middle of playing Resident Evil 0. And then when it finished Resident Evil 0 Part 12, something happened and made it restart again. I don't know what it was or what happened, but it restarted and I had to manually go in after a few hours. So we lost a lot of viewers because it replayed the same exact thing over again, which was my fault because I wasn't there to check to make sure everything was good. So that's the first time that's happened. But yeah, so I had to manually set it back to Resident Evil Remastered here. I think it's because of this, because the frame rate's different and it got confused or something. And yeah, other than that, I don't know what really happened. Hopefully there's no more of those exclamation points the rest of the time. So hopefully it'll go through everything. But yeah, so like you won't see Resident Evil Village until 60, you know, however many hours, like probably 40 hours from now is when you'll see Resident Evil Village or something like that. But it just plays in the background. It's an ordered loop, so it'll just continue to replay over and over and over again. It took me all day to get all these videos. I don't have all these videos like in hard drives. I'm an idiot. See, most smart people that don't have ADHD, what they did was when they did walkthroughs of things, they kept all that footage and they put them on, you know, hard drives and things like that. And then they, you know, would always have that footage so they could reuse if they wanted to make like a top 10 something. Or see me, I'm stupid. I didn't do that. So I downloaded all of these from YouTube. So what you can do is you can go into your channel content on your videos like this right here. And then if you just click the options, you can hit download. And what it does is it downloads a 720p 30 FPS version of this video. So I could hit this right here, like say my last Battlefield part, which was in 4K, high quality and all that. And if you hit download, and you can see it downloads, and you can see I went through all these and was downloading all of those. And then it just downloads. And so even that, look, that's 633 megabytes for just a 32-minute thing, but it's only going to be in 720p. And so the thing about it is you only have so much. You only get 100 gigabytes for one stream. So what I have currently on this channel right now, my media library, I've got 3 games. I've got the Splinter Cell games here, as you can see, then the Hitman games here, and then the Resident Evil games. And all 3 of those games, just in the lowest of quality that I could get to where it's still HD, is almost at 100 gigabytes. So I, you know, came really, really close to matching it. And if you now you can up this by creating 2 streams instead of 1, and it gives you 200 gigabytes. However, the only problem there is it's an extra $20. And so is it worth it? Are you going to make $50 a month doing this? Now, clearly we already made $50 a month because actually we made it on the Splinter Cell. The Splinter Cell stream made $60 for the entirety of it. So this thing costs $30. So we were already, you know, $30. We made $30 off this whole thing even before we did the Hitman thing. So yeah, it was worth it. But the Hitman thing made it really worth it, but that's not going to happen all the time. That was a once in a lifetime probably thing. We're probably not going to go that viral again. I don't know what happened there, but we're probably not going to get that lucky again on these streams. So you're looking at just normal modest numbers where we might do 5-6 days of a stream and it might have 3,000 to 4,000 views. And then that might make us, you know, $10 to $15. And if you do that 4 times a week, then you're making at least an extra $30 a month. So $30 a month is more than I would have if I didn't do it. So it is somewhat positive, and therefore we'll keep it going. And I want to change up the series. However, what I'll have to do is I'll have to delete I'll have to delete the games that I'm not on and only put the games that I'm going to do in there, which is easy because I've actually been a little smarter and I've taken those videos and put them on a drive so that anytime I want to go back to that, say if I want to go back to Hitman and I don't have it on this list anymore, then I can just upload it again and put it back on the list. But I've also created playlists. So that way I can easily go to that playlist, click on it, and then immediately start streaming and make it super quick. Do I get money for old videos? Yeah, but it's like really, really low. Like if you look, like it'll always tell you my top videos and it'll tell you like how many, you know, views I get and stuff. So look at this. See this video here. Let's just use this for instance. So Forza Horizon 5, the intro experience. That's the only video I ever did on Forza Horizon 5. I did this when it came out. So if you look at it, this video came out on November 4th, 2021. Okay. This one, I'm using this as an example because this one went viral. This one actually had a lot of views. So you can see over time how it's went up, within the first 22 days, it's first 54 days, first 85 days, tells you how many views it got. So in the first 7 days, it had 20,000 views, and then it keeps going up. And then it keeps going up, and you can see that we're still making some, see, over the last 48 hours, 257 views. So it's pretty much not getting as many views as it was before, but over its lifetime, this includes the entire lifetime. So from 2021, so 4 years, I've made $800 off of that. Now that is a great thing, but that's not every video. That's just one particular video that did particularly well. So like say for instance, our Battlefield, right? So this is the one we just did. This is the first video in the Battlefield walkthrough. This is just part 1. It's got 3,000 views. We made 4 subscribers from it, and we only made $12 from it. So it goes up and down. So you just really never know, what it's going to be. And then you can always, the good thing about YouTube's studio is that you can check out, where are most people watching it from. Most people are watching it, 32% are watching it from my channel page. So most likely this is mostly all my own audience. Yeah. So 71% of this was my own people that were subscribed to me. And then 28% was not subscribed. So even though whatever 28% of 3,000 some views, only 4 people subscribed. That's not a good ratio. I got to do better. So clearly I'm not doing good enough to get people to subscribe. Now that's just, example of one of my newest videos. The Far Cry event is still making 3,000 views every month. So that's pretty cool. My number one video, mostly because this is just an anomaly. That is not the norm. That's just an anomaly because YouTube decided to promote it. Normally I don't get that. So this one is my most watched and best video on the channel entirely. This one's made me thousands of dollars, but it's made it over almost 10 years at this point. So this still gets me a little bit of views. Like, so in the past 28 days, I made $44. That's like my number one video normally right here. And it's still, and see, the reason that it's still good is because it's still seen in YouTube search. So people that are searching the game inside, they're seeing this on the thing, and that's where it's coming from. But yeah, so that one's been pretty good. But if you go down and you go down to the list of all of them, and you could go, you'll be able to go through the entire, gaming content that I've done. But let me just give you an example. Let's type in a video from very, very long ago. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say something that probably didn't get a lot of views, but it was from very, very long ago. Okay, let's type in this. Max Payne 3. All right. So let me just hit show all. That way all the videos. So my Max Payne walkthrough. Here we go. So they have a few thousand views. Not whatever. But back then when I made this in like 2012, since 2012. So for 13 years, I only got 6,000 views and only have 24 comments. So let's take a look at the analytics on this just chapter 8 part. So as you can see, I'm making $0 from this. So as of right now, 3 views. I've had 3 views on this video. Now let's find out, is that old people or new people? So 28 days, that's new people. So nobody on my channel that subscribed to me has watched this video in the last 28 days. The only people that found it, they found it while searching Max Payne 3 and my video showed up, but only 3 people. So you could see that just these random videos from 13 years ago, they don't make me any money. It's only the bigger ones. It's only the ones, let's use, I don't know. Let's not use Max Payne. Let's use one of my older walkthroughs that had a lot of views. Let's say Sniper Ghost Warrior 2. So it should show my Sniper Ghost Warrior games here. There we go. My original walkthrough, that's the one I want to talk about. So my original Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 walkthrough from 2013 has 1,000,000 628,000 views, which is really good. That's this game really did very, very well from the very beginning. 771 comments, 16,000 likes. Let's go to the analytics. 29 cents. So even a video with over 1 million views total in its lifetime, over, what is it, 13 years or something like that. I did get 1 subscriber from it over the past month, and I only made 29 cents from it. So that's an outlier because that has a lot of views, but a lot of my walkthroughs from, 5-6 years ago, they don't have a lot of views. So I don't make 29 cents every month from, but this is still making 29. So if we went over to the revenue, you could see the spikes. So there are certain times of the year when I make a little bit of money from this. So you can see the September 30th, for whatever reason, I made 3 cents that day on this game. Normally it's 0 cents because I get no views. Oh, that day I got 1 cent, 3 cents, 4 cents was the top, was the top one. Let's look at audience. So some people that are subscribed to me are still watching, but most of the time it's people not subscribed. That's what I try to say is, like, for those of you that are subscribed, you might not know of certain games that I've done. You got to just search for things because there's so many videos out there that not a lot of people know that I've covered over these years. But anytime you see like less than 10,000 views, I assure you, if you were to go to my 1 cent, so that's what I make. And then when you put it all together, because I have 9,000 videos, I make just enough to survive, which is why when you go to my studio and you see that, right now, over the last month, I've made $2,225. This has been pretty good. This is actually a very high thing for me, because if you go to the analytics and then you see over the past few months, actually, I think it's on the dashboard page. Yeah. Where does it show? I don't see where it shows. There's your channels, but does it show you? Okay, this is in revenue. There we go. So you can see the revenue there. You can see we've actually went up a little bit over these past few months. Now that could be from one thing or another. Metal Gear was definitely a very, very good playthrough for me, because a lot of people on my channel, see, that's the thing. If a video on my channel gets higher views, it's because of you guys. It's because of you guys watching it, you hitting the like button, you commenting, you watching it for longer. That tells YouTube that we need to share this video with more people. And so therefore more people see it. So the more you guys like, comment, share, all that stuff, the more outside people will see it. So for instance, when we take a look at this video right here, which has been one of my biggest videos over the last year or so, during the stream itself, I only got up to 65 peak during the premiere. I did a premiere on this. So averaged only about 50 people in there watching at a time. But because of the people that were watching left likes and did all that kind of stuff, we got 78 subscribers on it, which is pretty good. Now, if we look at the audience, it was sent out to a lot of people. Now, this got a lot of views. So obviously, even though I have 300 and almost 40,000 subscribers, I don't have 340,000 people watching my channel. So think of a lot of dead accounts of people that used to watch me that either don't watch me anymore, or they might still be subscribed and watch YouTube, but they haven't watched a video of mine in years because they're no longer promoting my videos, because they're not searching for my kind of thing. Everyone changes, everyone does different things and looks at different stuff. So, this was seen by a lot of people outside, and that is because of the 23% that did watch. You all left a lot of likes and watched a lot of, That 23% might be everyone that normally watches me every single day. That's the 23%. And you can see that United States is always the best, no matter what I do. It's always the best. So I try to cater to US because that is where most of my audience is. But I've always streamed during the day, which is against US, which is more United Kingdom or other side of, continent or other side of the world, which is why I started streaming at nighttime to try to bring in more of the American people, because the American audience is the biggest audience that I currently still have. But as you can see, over the last just month, this has still done really, really well, but it only just came out about a month ago. So since August 31st, it's only been out for what? September, October, not even 2 months. So it's done pretty well. I mean, I will take that. So we've made a total of $200 on this, which is like I said, it's an outlier. It's not the norm. If you go by the norm, it's literally just like $2 or $3. The normal video is just my normal videos, like, like Mafia, the normal videos of Mafia, look, didn't even get 100 views. So that's why I didn't continue putting it in walkthrough format, because if it's not even getting 1,000, $3, and think about it. So these videos sometimes take a full day to make, because you're learning levels, you're doing certain things, and then you're editing and you're doing all of that stuff. So you might only get out one video a day. And then if you're only getting this one video out a day, so that means you're just making $3 a day on any of your new videos. And that's just not enough to cut it. And it sucks, because I hate starting things and then it always looks like I just quit on it. But it's not because I just don't want to do it anymore. It's because what is going to be best for the channel. And best for the channel obviously wasn't me doing these videos in walkthrough format, because they weren't even getting 1,000 views, no subscribers, which means that nobody probably even saw this outside. Yeah, see, 70% was my own people and 30% was outside. And that 30% outside didn't subscribe, didn't watch, didn't stay, didn't do anything. I didn't even get a single view from anyone 24 years or younger on this video. How does that even make? So no one 24 years or younger even watched this video. So that's my normal. That's my normal, which is why I started doing streams, which are the only reason I'm making any money right now. And let's just say, let's use LA Noire Part 1 as an example. So this stream, look, it's limited. So what limited means is I'm not making barely any money from this, because advertisers say it is too graphic. So if you look, LA Noire, look at this. 1, 2, 3. First 3 videos of my LA Noire were limited. That one wasn't. So that one was. That one wasn't. That one wasn't. That one wasn't. So probably half of my LA Noire was limited. So how much did I make because of the limitness? Now that says quite a bit, and I gained 3 subscribers from it, but let's look at where that revenue is coming from. So memberships. So I guess I got a few memberships that people did a membership because of this, but even limited, I was still in the first video, the first part, was able to make $36 in watch ads. I only made $10 live, but view replay, which was not too bad, I made $25. So for whatever reason, this one, it was actually a pretty decent for 3,000 or 3,500 views. That one did okay, but that's a very big outlier. But usually when you get to parts like this, which barely made 1,000, $2, and I lost a subscriber. Sometimes I don't know. I'm all over the place. $2.57. So, and that's technically actually the entire thing. For some reason, it only shows after the I don't know what it's doing there, but I actually made $5.19. So I'm not sure why it just says 257, because I guess it's still processing, but I made $5 from part 7. Let's take a look at Ghost, right? Ghost, pretty popular on my channel, 13,000 views. A lot of that thousands of views is going to be from after, because I definitely didn't have that many people watching live. Live, I did get up to 145 peak, and you can see the entirety of the stream here. This is what's really, really good about YouTube, is like sometimes you can spend hours sitting in here looking at your analytics and then trying to figure out, you know, what you're doing wrong or what you can do to fix it and all that kind of stuff. But so this one, obviously a lot of people were watching. It's the first day it was released because I didn't get it early. And I had some decent views. I thought I would get more people live than just this amount because it's a new stealth game, but I didn't. Excuse me. But we made 122 and we had 41 subscribers. So 41 people are new to the channel just off of that part 1. Very good. Sometimes we get very lucky on certain games. So that's awesome. And you can see that it's almost evenly done. So 54% subscribed and then 46% not subscribed, mostly United States. And then if you go to the overview, where was it that told you? Yeah. External. So for some reason, most of my views in the last 48, that only does 48 hours. So have been external. So either someone's sharing my, my videos, and external means they're coming in from the outside to the video, meaning someone shared it and it was able to get some, and then 21% in the search. Because you probably, if you typed in search right now, my guess, if I went over to here and let's just do platinum, Ghost of Yotei platinum. Let's see, all the big platinum guys, you know, they're always going to have first dibs. But there you go. That's not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got 2 videos that are there. So that's not, I mean, that's decent. Can you see where your viewers are coming from in total or only per video? No, you can see it in total. Because if you just go to your regular studio, this is your full studio here, analytics, and then you go to audience, it breaks it down right here. So the last 28 days, you can see here, 71% of people that have come to my channel, and this is mostly because of the new games. 71% are new to the channel and 27% are subscribed. So that's not bad. So we've done a little bit better these last 28 days. We're getting there. And then it tells me that 92% are male, 7% are female. And then it tells you, look, not very many 13 to 7. You know, this number right here would have been completely different. Now remember, this is only the last 28 days. See, if I did lifetime, these numbers will be completely different. Now, this is not the lifetime on my channel. This is only the lifetime from the moment I became a YouTube partner through Google. So as you can see, the lifetime on my channel, this will be 0. This is because I was a partner through Machinima and other companies, and therefore I don't get any of my analytics from all the way up to 2017. Now, 2017, it wasn't until 2020 does any of this actually start. So none of my analytics start until 2020. So what you're seeing here technically is from 2020 on. Now it says my total amount of subscribers, and you can see my monthly audience is only 145,000K. That is significantly down from what it was. I used to be getting 4 or 5 million views a month, and that's what it's down to now. So this channel has went from here around 2017, and then from 2017 on, big time down. I've done a playthrough of well, kind of. I didn't finish it because it started getting really, really, really repetitive, but I have a lot of videos on Mafia 3. And this tells you how many views. See, that only says 202,000 views. So a lot of my views that I've gotten from inside are going to be from when it first came out, which is around in here, which you don't count there, but you can see which ones since 2018. There's a lot of good ways to see, mostly it's from computer. So most of my viewers are from watching on desktop as opposed to mobile. See, I thought it was going to be mobile. Mobile's still a pretty big 31%. United States, 36%, so obviously that's still the biggest. I can't believe I've lost the 13 to 17 year old, because if you looked at this, a lot of people like Vic and a lot of people were literally like within this age group when they started watching me. And now they're adults, almost hitting 30 and whatnot. And it's crazy how things go. Yeah. And then this is where I figure out what my best times are. But you got to remember it's only counting the last 28 days for one. But because I stream a lot during this time period, most of the people that watch me are during this time period. If I were to say stop streaming at all during this time period, this would go away, and then it would start to go to wherever it is my normal people watch are. So yeah, whenever anyone says, hey, watching from Germany, like Pascal, watching from, or Luke from, where he's from in the world. So you always see, I always love it when people say they're from a different country, because that's not my normal audience. So, but yeah, you can see there are certain times, like for some reason on January 1st, 2023, I think I know what that was from. That was when I did that one video. So right there, that big spike right there was because I did that 40-second video of the Game Awards where the guy came on and talked about his Rabbi Bill Clinton or whatever. Sometimes you can go viral just once, and then it helps your channel out for like the next year or so. I mean, it's possible. That's kind of how like the system works. A lot of you that are watching here right now are going to be from overseas, because in America, people are working right now and they're not off watching. Whereas in UK and stuff like that, they're not working because it's, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, or even further, depending on where you are. So it's nighttime. So that's why I'll get a lot more UK audience when I stream at this time. And then when I stream at 7 p.m., there'll be more American kind of audience, that kind of thing. Yeah, I know I went probably a little too long, but we need to figure out what we're doing. That was originally the whole point of this, is to figure out which game we're playing. So, let's figure out what we're going to do. What is going to be our next platinum? I think a lot of you, then there's some people that are in America that aren't working right now during the day or for whatever reason. And then they're watching. So, you get a mix of people all the time. Let me see. Let's go to Steam, I guess. What can we do? So I did get, the developers sent me a copy of Ready or Not. I haven't really got a chance to play much of it, but I definitely want to do a video of Ready or Not at some point. So over the next week or so, I will be doing a video for Ready or Not, which is like a tactical, kind of, cop game or whatever, SWAT kind of game, that I'm interested in definitely, doing something for. Let me see. So, okay. I mean, the cat out of the bag. I think a lot of you would probably want to see Hitman 3. I don't even think I have Hitman 3. No, I think it's, hold on. Let me just search Hitman. There it is. It's under World of Assassination. So I know a lot of people would love to see this game finally be done. So the Hitman 3, I am going to do a stream tomorrow, guys. So just so you guys know, tomorrow Um, I have Outer Worlds 2. I've only played just a little bit of it because once I played it, I realized that it's just too much and too big that I'm not going to do a platinum for it. And so what I'll do is tomorrow, when I can actually, the embargo lifts. Today was the review embargo. Tomorrow is the video embargo. So tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, our normal stream time, I will be playing the Outer Worlds 2 for you guys to check it out. So, because that's the first time that we can actually play it, or not play it. I've been able to play it, but it's the first time that we can actually show off in live stream or video format. Today is only for reviews. So the videos you see today are only kind of review types of stuff, but but definitely going to show you guys some Outer Worlds 2 so you guys can take a look at it and see if the game is going to be right for you, of course. All right, but as I said here, I probably, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be doing if I do Hitman World of Assassination, I don't know if I'm going to be doing the PC version. Hey, Mike, what's up, man? Oh yeah. The thing is though, if you look at the criteria for the achievements, because that's what I always look at, because I just strictly really do platinums now, so I always have to look at the achievements. But some of the achievements require you to play the game multiple times. And I'm not talking about just your very hard. You got to play the game on very hard. You could do that. It'll unlock hard. It'll unlock normal, all that kind of stuff. But there's certain achievements in here, like completed the game without spending a single bit. And other things like that force you to have at least 2 or more separate playthroughs. And especially of a game that takes you 40 to 50 hours to complete. That's just too much right now for me to be able to do a platinum for. I know my limitations and I know what games I'm going to want to do platinums for. Now, again, the only difference that could be is one thing, is if I stream this tomorrow and then it goes viral for some reason and I have over a few hundred people in there watching, then that tells me that this is a game maybe I should do the platinum or at least do a full playthrough for. So that's kind of how I look at it. It has to be based off of how many views we're getting. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in today. If it was up to me and I had some other type of income, then I'd play these games and just play and just have fun. But that's not how this system works. It's not how, this is what I do for a living. So I have to be smart about it. And I have to think about that stuff. So partial platinum. Well, no, what I would do is I would just say it's just a playthrough or something like that, essentially. Yeah, you had to finish Silent Hill 4 to 5 times. I couldn't do that, man. So power to you, but I couldn't. Like I did Silent Hill F. We did it once, and my body could barely get through it once. And it wasn't because I didn't like the game. I loved the game, but it was because I can't imagine going through that 4 or 5 times. My nerves, those horror games, they scare the shit out of me, man. And I could barely make it through just beating it once because of how like nervous I was during the entire time. I'm starting to get a little bit better. My stomach doesn't hurt as much anymore. So that's why we'll be back to streaming tomorrow. Unfortunately, LA Noire is done and we can't get the platinum. We can't because of the glitch, which totally sucks, man, because we went all the way through that and got up to the last final 2 freaking achievements. And I can't do it, man. We got all the collectibles. We did all that, but the cars are bugged. They won't save anymore. Every time I get a car, it won't save. And therefore we cannot do it. So that just really, really sucks. Glitch Platinum. That's happened twice now. Assassin's Creed Revelations on the Ezio collection for Xbox and now that one. So tomorrow we will be streaming the Outer Worlds 2. So I hope to see you guys there at 11 just to check it out, do a few hours. If it gets really big and popular, then obviously we'll do more. So any game that I stream that has a lot of viewers and people are having a good time and they want to see more, That's why I say make sure you leave a like and comment that you want to see more, because the more people I see in those comments that say, Strain, you do the whole thing, please, the more motivated it does make me, and it shows me that more people want to see it. Hey, Fata Morgana, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. You've been on this channel for quite a long time. All right, so back to the Hitman War of Assassination. If we do this, I'm thinking I would probably do the PlayStation 5 version of it. But I don't know. I don't know how many. We're going to take a look at the PlayStation and see how many achievements are in the World of Assassination. But there's 83 in this one. I've obviously gained a few. The reason is because we had to play a few, because when we did our sponsorship thing with Hitman, when we did the James Bond thing, I had to play the game, so I went through the training again to make sure I knew the controls again and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I've unlocked those. But I can actually take those away. That's what's great about Steam, is I can remove those achievements so that we earn them again when we go through it. But yeah, you could see how many there are. There's 83, but I don't know how many are tied to just the platinum. That's the kicker. You've platinum Hitman 3 twice. Wow, Natalie. So you can see that there's 83 achievements in the World of Assassination. Now, if we go to here and then we go to, I think it's PSN Profiles, Guides, and we type in Hitman World of Assassination, which doesn't even show up. I think it's only called Hitman 3 in here. So Hitman 3 trophy guide, but see, I don't know which one. Hitman 3, Hitman 2's DLC. See, it has DLC. It has DLC. Yeah. So on Steam, Mike, yeah. I don't know if you knew this or not, but if you use this program called, and I'll show you right now, called SAM, right? So I'm going to click to my file location, and then I will double click on this. And I'll bring this up. So it's called Steam Achievement Manager. So if you do any game that's on Steam, the stream went out for a second. Sorry. So if you do any game that's not Rockstar, what else? Ubisoft, whatever EA, whatever has a third party go through, like if you're on Steam and you have to do a second login on Ubisoft in order to do it, or a second login on Rockstar to do it, like Rockstar Launcher, or a second login on EA because of EA's app that you have to use, then you can't do it because it saves those achievements to EA, to Ubisoft, to Rockstar. And so when you try to remove them on here, and then you play the game again, it automatically puts them back on because those other accounts unlock them permanently and you can't take them off. But any other game that's just Steam, you can do it. Like say Alien Isolation, right? You click on Alien Isolation. You can see what I've already done through my playthroughs or whatever, right? If I wanted to go through and do another 100% of this game and get all of the achievements, obviously you see I've already unlocked some. Well, you can just reset the achievements and it'll reset them and you'll be back to 0 and the game will think you have never played it. And then all of the new stuff will unlock again. So, yeah, dude, look it up, man. It's a great thing. Not only that, but here, Mike, you definitely need to check this out, because when you unlock achievements on Steam, they kind of suck, right? Like you have to usually use big mode, big screen mode in order to get achievements to show up on the top part to make them look a little better so they have a sound, that kind of thing. Well, there's another program, Mike, that allows you to have cool achievements. So what this is called is Stream Achievement Notifier. So there's Stream Achievement Manager and there's Stream Achievement Notifier. So Stream Achievement Notifier is this. So what this does is this, instead of having just this tiny little achievement that pops up on the side like Steam normally does. What you can customize the way your achievements look, sound, and all that. So you see how that showed up now? So I've got a specific looking achievement. Now, you can customize this. So, you know, for all of your different ones, and you can put them, you have different ones. You have ones that look like that. Let's say we moved the bronze, the regular one. Let's say we wanted the PlayStation. We wanted to make it feel like I'm playing the PlayStation game. So you go PlayStation Modern. And then now, whenever you test your notification, it looks just like a PlayStation. And what you can do is you can take sounds. So you could literally go to customize, and this is what I do sometimes. Instead of using the regular default sound, I'd go on here. I could go to videos, I think is where I have it. And I have the PS5 trophy sound. So I'd select that. And now when we get a bronze, you hear this. And so it looks just like it would on the PlayStation 5. If you love that sound, you love the platinum sound, you love the way it looks, you can make these bigger, you can make it smaller. You can change all the things inside it. You can change how long it displays, like 200%. If you want it to take up like the whole screen, you can make it 300%. And then let's say you wanted to change the game art, the colors, the icons, the logos. You can see PlayStation logo there. You can change where it is. So if you wanted it to be in the top center instead. And now it shows up super big. So everyone knows when you unlock an achievement, boom, you get the credit that you love to get. It shows up huge and you really feel like you have accomplished something. Plus it's easier for people to understand when they're in my videos. Let me just take a previous walkthrough, for example, that I did on Steam, I guess. Let me see. It's got to be something obviously on Steam, because this only works on Steam. So how do I make myself visible? Just by using a camera. I mean, OBS. Hey, I'm glad I could help you, man. I wish I would have been able to mention this earlier so you know before. Yeah, it changed the game for me. It made me want to start playing more Steam games, because I always chose not to do Steam games versions of games when I did platinums, because they didn't show up enough. So whenever I would earn an achievement or trophy, half the time I wouldn't even know I got it, because Steam sucks at notifying you. So now this made me want to do more Steam games, because it makes the thrill better. Like I say, Order of the Giants. Let me just click on that one. They should have showed up for this one. See how I have my trophies in there that let you know the time periods, right? So because I'm playing this on Steam, there's that sexy guy right there. And then you go here, click on that. You can see wherever in it. So this should show specific trophy. I always said it a few before. There you go. See? You get the normal one on the bottom right, and then I get the one that shows up at the very top. And that it just, and even when you're doing this in walkthrough format and you don't have like, or in my case, my ugly mug, showing up, in normal walkthrough format with no commentary, it's still nice when people see that show up and then they know for a fact, okay, this is what he or she did in order to unlock that specific, thing. Obviously you can't do this in console games. It just does it the normal way. So when I do console games, I have 2 accounts. So one account I use to practice the games, and I don't have it hooked up to PlayStation, Plus or whatever. So when I'm playing a game, sometimes I play the game twice, and I'll use my main account to play the game, so I know how to get the achievement or how to get the trophy. And when I go back and record it to do the final version of it, to actually do the walkthrough version of it, I use my other account, my platinum account. So that way it unlocks it again. So, obviously, trial and error when you're doing games, and you're doing walkthroughs and stuff, you don't just go through the mission once. You're usually playing it multiple times to learn it. So this way I can play it multiple times on my one account, and then I can get to my other account. I just play it once, and then it unlocks the trophy and everything looks good. And, that's how I get it to work. So, just type those in, have fun with it. And, it'll be a new thing for your people to see. And I'm sure they would really enjoy it. Okay. So as we were talking, but that only works on Steam. So, all right. So I believe Natalie said that there was 47 trophies for Hitman. Obviously that makes sense because 47. So if we went over here to Hitman 3 trophy guide, this will probably say what, 47? Actually says 84. I think 84 is the total number with all the DLC included. But in order to get platinum, I think you only need 47. So when we do Hitman World of Assassination, we only need 47 trophies to get the platinum. Now, if you guys remember back last year when I did Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, right? I did the entire thing on PlayStation. So I did all of the DLC included. It was a complete 100%. We did more than the platinum. We didn't need to do the side content. We didn't need to do the DLC. We could have already got the platinum without doing the DLC stuff, but we went ahead and did it. There are some times where when I go through a game where I want to do every trophy, not just the platinum. So there is a difference between platinum and 100%. 100% means you do everything. It means more than the platinum. Whereas the platinum means you're just doing everything in the base game. Let's take, for instance, my playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. So if I go over to my playlists, did I type that wrong? Yeah, where in the heck is my playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima? Let me just type it Ghost. There it is. Right here. My playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. It's technically, I lied here because it's not 100%. It's 100% of the main base game, but I didn't do the DLC, which Lego's been doing, which is the Legends and all of that extra stuff. This specific one here, everything that I unlock and do, and if we go down to part 1 here, let me take a look at this real quick. Welcome to the stream today. This one did pretty good too. 20,000 views. I'll take that. I mean, especially for a live stream. I'm feeling a little bit better. My stomach's been crazy because of contaminated water that we had, but I'm getting a little bit better. Yeah. So this was. Where's all my? Oh, I did this before I started putting the timestamps in, but sometimes you get those cases where a game you can earn trophies and achievements. So I played this game on Steam, but because it's hooked up to PlayStation, it also earned me the platinum on PlayStation. So if you go to my account on PlayStation, my original account, because that's before I changed to my platinum account, you'll see that I platinumed it, but I didn't do any of the DLC. So it's only just that's kind of the difference. So the reason I put 100% walkthrough is because I was playing on Steam and clearly not playing on PlayStation. And I don't want to, I try not to confuse people, but people mostly, when they look at things, they like the word platinum. If you type in platinum, it's usually better than typing in 100% or achievements, because it's just, a platinum is something people just know immediately. You've done all the trophies. You know what I mean? I've never actually played Legends mode, Natalie. So I've heard great things about it. But when Ghost of Yote, when Legends comes out for that in the next few months, I do plan on doing Legends for that. You guys remember when I used to do this thing? I kind of liked this format. What did you guys think of this? So recently, I've changed my stream, and I've got myself in a circle here, and I've got a game information bar that I use, which is right here. So this was when we just platinumed Ghost of Yote. So you can see here we got donations on the left. That was at 15. This is all from that last stream that I did on the platinum. And then on the right, total amount of trophies, and then how many trophies we've got, and obviously we unlocked the platinum. Do you guys prefer this method here, where I'm taking up some of the screen up here in the top right, or do you prefer the see-through method and then have the trophies like below me, and then have like something up here at the very, very top, which shows recent things? So, when people donate, by the way, thank you for that donation, Renee, which was over a year ago. Thank you. You think it looks better when it's just your face, not the background? So you think it looks better when I don't have, like I have currently, which is, me in my room, behind me. So the only difference is what it does to my computer. So because I do have a green screen, but I tend to not try to have to use it because it takes up so much. My office is really small. Like I'm not made of money. So my room is a very small room. So putting that big green screen that I have from Elgato takes up a lot of space. So if I don't have to use it, I try not to. So what I do is I use NVIDIA's video background removal. The problem is because I stream in 4K in high quality, it takes a lot of processing from my GPU when I'm streaming to multiple places. Multiple places meaning I'm streaming to Twitch, I'm streaming to Kick, I'm streaming to YouTube at the same time, 4K on YouTube, 1080p on Twitch and Kick, and I'm trying to record the game that I'm playing with just the game, not with my mug over top, not with any of the extra features that a live stream gets, so that I can have a no commentary version of a walkthrough later on. So, and I can show you an example of this. So for instance, my recent Ghost walkthrough, right? This was the final part, right? So you see here, I got my ugly mug here, and then I got that up there, okay? This is the video. Now, let me bring up that same thing. Question is, where did I save it to? Let me hold on. Let's see. When I do video capture device filters, OBS recordings. Okay. So I go to my OBS recordings. I go to my, here we go. So this is that same video right here. I started this right when I was about to start the final mission because I only recorded the story. You can see that here is our stream. We can literally go like around to that same location, but you can see there's no ugly mug. There's no extra things showing up. It's just the gameplay. So OBS allows you to screen capture or just only capture one source instead of all the other sources that add on to it. It takes a while to set up and make it perfect, but that way you have a no commentary version and it's just the gameplay. So if I wanted to make a review, I could take this footage and then I could do an over microphone talk of the review of the game or something. But what I'm planning on doing in this case, and I haven't got a chance to do it yet because I've been sick, is take all of the walkthrough footage that I recorded, which is a total, as you can see here, of now each of these videos, 77 gigabytes, 64, 43, 10, 81 gigabytes, 67 gigabytes. This is the entire walkthrough, just the main story. This is just the main story for Ghost of Yote. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this into my editor, DaVinci Resolve, and then I'm going to put cuts in it and just show only the main story, not any of the side stuff. And it'll have no commentary, and it'll show the entire game done. I just haven't had a chance to go in and edit it yet because I've been sick and everything else going on. So, but when I get a chance to finally go in and edit this is probably going to be at least 20 hours, depending on how long just the story took. Then I'll have a non-commentary version of this that I'll put up on the channel. So for those that want to watch, the entire platinum process, you guys watch that with commentary. And for those that just want to have it on in the background or don't want to hear someone speaking over the game, then we'll have that too. And it's tough because these will not get nearly any views. So I'm going to put in a lot of effort to do this. This will take me all day to do, hours and hours of footage. All of this footage right here, if I were to tally it up all together, let me see. It's 692 gigabytes, almost a terabyte. And it's 41 hours. So that's 41 hours of footage that I could probably knock down to about 20 hours because I did all of my side stuff in here in these videos too, because I recorded the whole thing. So you probably knock down 20 hours or so. And yeah, so, going through that footage, taking out the deaths, all that kind of stuff. The time to rent it. Actually, it won't. Oh, Premiere Pro. Yeah, I don't use Premiere Pro. I got a great editor. I use DaVinci Resolve and 4K, 60 FPS on all my videos. Let me tell you the ratio. So if I have an hour video of 4K footage, 60 FPS, once I'm done doing all my edits and I have an hour video to render, 60 FPS is obviously 60 seconds. Or 60 FPS is 60 frames a second. You guys get what I'm trying to say? So 1 second is 60 FPS. That's how it works. It does it about 340 FPS. So when I record in DaVinci Resolve 4K 60 FPS, I get rendering at 340 FPS. So 60, 120, 240, 360. It's around 5.5 times however long the video is. So if the video is an hour long and 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, so it takes me just a little bit less, probably 16 minutes or so, to render a 1 hour long video in 4K. So this here, let's say it was 20 hours long. What is 5 times shorter than that? It's going to take, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So it's going to take just under 4 hours, probably 3 hours and 30 minutes to render a 20-hour video. That's what DaVinci Resolve does for me. I don't know what Premiere Pro does, but I don't have to pay for DaVinci Resolve. See, Premiere Pro uses a subscription base. So you're paying $20 a month, or if you have other things, you might be paying more a month. I also have a 13900K with 4090, but that doesn't mean anything. And I'll be honest with you. That doesn't mean shit. Like that's, in my experience, that's what I found, because I've also edited with my computer that's downstairs. That's a 2090 and a, like a 11900K, and it's still the same. So DaVinci Resolve, because what it does is it uses the GPU that you have to do most of the stuff. Yeah, so obviously it'll be a little bit better with a 4090, but it's still almost just as fast. And I don't pay any more for DaVinci Resolve. I paid a one-time fee, and I think that fee was around $250 when I got my DaVinci Resolve back in, I want to say 2021. So I paid $250, and that's all. There's also a free version of DaVinci Resolve. It does not use your computer for rendering, but it is still really, really, really good, and you get all the features. So you can try DaVinci Resolve for free, and you get all the same features that I get for my paying price, except I get to use my GPU. That's the only thing you're really getting when you pay, but it's so worth it. I mean, I paid one time 4 or 5 years ago, and DaVinci Resolve to me is the best editor out there. I had been recently using CapCut, but I was paying $20 a month for it. CapCut renders so freaking fast that an hour video will take less than 10 minutes. I don't know what trickery they're doing, but you're paying monthly, and CapCut is owned by a company that's very shady. So I stopped doing CapCut because I couldn't afford it anymore. I can't afford $20 a month to pay extra. So I went back to Resolve. I just wanted to try it out because CapCut has a lot of cool features in it. It's very user-friendly. I'm a very simplistic, basic editor type of person. So I don't do any like weird editing stuff. I'm not very good. I don't use After Effects. I don't do any of that cool stuff. My videos are very, very basic. It's just editing a clip, and trying to mix it in and putting the audio so that it blends in. That's pretty much what I do. And then just add basic commentary. But CapCut, you can do so many really, really cool things with. So I tried it out for a while, and I liked it. But paying $20 some a month to a company that is not a very good company, and a lot of the features used to be free and they're no longer free anymore. And that pissed me off too, because they should be giving you a lot of really good features for using their products. But yeah, so I went back to Resolve, and Resolve is totally 100% fine. And it's so much simpler to use than Premiere Pro, because I used to use Premiere Pro, but it's really simple. It's really good, and I love it. So I highly recommend DaVinci Resolve. Even if you're doing the free version, I think the free version is still way better than Premiere Pro, in my opinion. It'll probably be faster. It'll probably, it's so much easier to edit. And everything just looks cleaner, and it's got way more things you can do in it, because you have to use After Effects. It's got its own After Effects built in to DaVinci Resolve, and it's free. It doesn't cost you to use that. So, it might take you a little while. Yeah, it might. It might take you a little while to learn some of the extra cool things that you can do, but that's with any editor. But if you're just using it for the basic, simple stuff, there's no learning process at all, really. It's super simple, barely an inconvenience. But yeah, so, all right, let's get back to what I was originally trying to say. I don't know, man. I'm just leaning towards Hitman 3. What do you guys think? If I see a bunch of people in the chat right now, we probably don't even have that lot of people in here, but if I see a bunch of people in here say, do Hitman 3, our next platinum will be Hitman 3. Or the World Assassination. Part of it is because I know just how we got so lucky on that stream where we had over 4,000 people watching it. So part of me is like, maybe we'll get some cool numbers doing the Hitman series. The thing about the Hitman series is I love the Hitman series, but I hate the fact that in order to get the best times, you have to do stupid things. I hate that. In order to get the best times in Hitman, you have to do these stupid things, which is like throw a freaking fire extinguisher and shoot the fire extinguisher and do all this other kind of stuff. To me, that just feels, I hate that stuff. I absolutely hate it. I prefer the old-fashioned way of figuring out kills. I'm an old school Hitman player. I'm not a new school Hitman player. All these new channels today, they do Hitman, and they get the top scores, but they're doing the most stupidest things, like shoot this part of the level, and then shoot that part of the level, and then shoot that part of the level, and it makes all three of the guys appear in the same spot, and then you can do this weird thing to get all the kills in without. I mean, that stuff is cool. I mean, I applaud the people that can figure it out, but I am just an old school player that I prefer. I want to get my hands dirty. If I go up and try to do a takedown on a target, I want it to be a fiber kill or a cool accident kill, not one where I put a bomb next to him and then walked away and then threw a fire extinguisher and shot the fire extinguisher, which drew off the bomb, which killed him. But because you shot a fire extinguisher, it considers it an accident and not you know what I mean? Like, those are just, that's crazy to pull that stuff off. It just doesn't feel very stealthy to me. So I'm an old school player, and it's hard for me to get into these Hitman games and see how these people are playing them today. I was like, I can't compete with that. I can't compete with someone who's beating the mission in 24 seconds because they're doing that. I mean, how fun is it to go into a mission and beat it in 24 seconds? Yeah, that took a lot of skill to do whatever crap you have to do, but how is that fun for the viewer? How is it fun to show the viewer to get around something or to stealth through something, or like you made it through all of these guys and you didn't use one distraction? You know what I mean? Like that. Again, I'm an old school player, and I get it. Kids today, they want instant satisfaction, instant gratification. It's like the quicker you complete a game, the more people think you're better at it. I hate that type of thing. Like, I don't care if it takes me 10 hours to complete a game, but if I do it without distracting a single guard, or I do it without anyone knowing I'm even there, like not even saying, what was that noise? Or, that kind of thing. Like, remember when I did my Splinter Cell no perceivements walkthrough, which I was like, I'm going to make this so challenging that no one's going to perceive me, meaning that no one even knows no one hears anything. It's like, no one even says, was there a guy there or not? Did I see something or did it not? That kind of thing. I love that type of skill in the video games that I play, but I am a dying breed, and that's not what people want to see today. And it's so hard for me to change my ways. And that in turn keeps me at the bottom. It really does. I've screwed myself over on so many things because I'm so stuck in the ways that I am. And I refuse to become one of those that tries to go for scores in Hitman. It used to be cool in the beginning, but nowadays it's like you've got to exploit and cheat the game in order to get the highest score. And I can't do it. So when I do this platinum on Hitman, it's me literally going and doing exactly what the game wants me to do. Okay, you want me to take it out this way by using fiber wire? Well, then I'll do it. If there's an achievement in there or a trophy in there for throwing a freaking fire extinguisher or whatever it is, then I'll do it. But I'm going to stick to the rules of what the trophy applies to, and I'm not going to try to do anything more than that, because that's just not the type of player I am. So I think it's a good idea to do this. I mean, there's going to be some grind. Obviously, it takes 48 hours or so to do it. So if I were to, let's say I started streaming Hitman 3 Platinum on Monday. Let's say I started Monday. Each stream that I could do on it would be about 4 or 5 hours. So you calculate that, okay, if it's 50 hours to complete, 4 or 5 hours, 5 days a week. So let's say I did 5 hours, 5 days a week, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It would take me 2 weeks or so to get the platinum. Here's the problem. People's going to watch part 1, and some people will watch part 2. Yeah, there might be a little people in there for part 3, part 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. are going to have barely any views because people watch the first part and then that's it. They said, okay, I've seen enough. And then, so now it's such a crazy time because I feel like people's attention spans, I'm not saying most of you, because most of you will probably end up watching it, but there's not a lot of you. There's not a lot of most of you. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that I'm trying to bring in, or the other people that are just casuals, they'll check out one part and then they won't check out any other. So I don't make any money from all of those other videos. So that's why I'm on here saying, become a member, become a patron. You know, that's why I have a daily donation goal. That's why I have that kind of thing, because I know I'm not making any money from the ads because there's not a lot of people, and the more people, the more ads. So you have to say things like that as a streamer. You have to say, you know, make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment, make sure you do this, because it's the only way you're going to be able to continue to do what it is that I do. And to be honest, if it wasn't for this Hitman thing that just took off, I would be making, this month, I probably would not have made enough money to even pay my bills. I might just make enough money now this month to pay my bills because of the extra Hitman did, because of the fact that it went viral. I'm okay. So, you know, that's why I used to do these things like the drunk stream and stuff to hopefully try to gain a little extra money just to make ends meet. It's a tough thing, man. I don't wish this job on anyone, because this job can be fun and it can be rewarding, but it's only based off if people watch it or not. And sometimes there are just times when you do a game and nobody watches, and you spent 2 weeks grinding and grinding and grinding, and you make nothing from it. Now that's different if you have a second job. You know, if you have a job where you go through during the day and then you come here, like I did, you know, back in the 2010s when I was working full time for the Army before I retired. You know, I had my Army income all during the day, so I didn't care if people donated. I didn't care if people were, I mean, I always care if people watch your videos, but I didn't care how much money I was making on YouTube, because it didn't matter, because I had my job to fall back on. So my bills were paid. Everything else was, sorry, you're looking at me in big format, so I didn't mean to do that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't as big a deal. But then when I decided to take the opportunity and try to do this full time, but then I had to retire from the Army, and then all I'm doing now is full time YouTube. I care a lot, because I want to make sure that they have food. I want to make sure that my little girl has clothes. You know, last night I had to sit there and have not an argument, but Jennifer and I had to sit there and talk and say, hey, you know, Ella needs this, and this, because she's got some field trip coming up, and there's these other things coming up for her school that we have to pay for. And I just keep saying to myself, hun, where do you see us making this money for this? Where do you see me being able to take this $100 here and, you know, so we have to compromise on things. So I have to say, you know what, just, I'll eat ramen noodles for the next week and a half for dinner because we can't afford a normal dinner, or because we have to pay for something else that comes up. Like our, you remember the alarms going off for our smoke detectors, right? Well, you know, when we bought this house was already 6 years old, or I guess 5 years old at the time. And we've lived in this house now for 5 years. Well, smoke detectors, they last 10 years. That's their warrant, or that's their lifespan. Well, guess what? Our smoke detectors aren't working anymore now. So you guys heard, you know, a few streams ago where my alarms were going off. That wasn't because of the battery, because it's hardwired. So it's hardwired into the house. The battery is just a backup thing if the hardwire goes out. So the reason the alarms were going off wasn't because it needed new batteries. It's because they don't work anymore. So unfortunately, it costs about $50 to $60 per smoke detector. And all of our smoke detectors in every room, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's around 10 smoke detectors in the house. All of them aren't working anymore. So we had to shut them off. And unfortunately, to get 10 smoke detectors, it's going to cost, I think, at a minimum $200 to $300. And it's like, okay, well, I don't have $200 to $300. So what the heck? What am I going to do? It's a crazy, these are the things I worry about. So, it's tough. It's tough. That's why sometimes I'm like, okay, should I do this walkthrough or not? Because it's not making any money, and maybe I should try to move on to something that might. It's a stressful thing. I don't recommend this job for anyone. Please, if you want to go in and do YouTube, have a second job already. Have a full-time job and just do this as a hobby. Because if you don't, unless you've been doing it for a long time and you already have a big following and you're making enough to do it, I would say for my channel, if I could average 10,000 views per video that I put out, if I was getting a consistent 10,000 views per video, I'd probably be okay. I'd be okay. But unfortunately, my streams, they only average, except for the first part. The first part will usually average a little bit more. But my streams themselves might only come out to average 1,000 to 2,000 views. And that's like $3. So unfortunately, you gotta think about what was already put in the house. It's a wired house. So you have to get wired ones, and it has to fit the specific brand that they did in the house. So there's like a brand that we have, and it has to be hardwired. And we've looked on Amazon, and they're all pretty expensive no matter what you get. So, because you have to buy a lot of them because it's 10 years. It's 10 years from the date this house was built, even though I've lived here 5, but they're just now going out. So those are little things that come up. Everybody has little things that come up. You have to figure out. We've been very blessed with luck, honestly, with sponsorships coming in at correct times, and helping us out in so many ways, but it's not sustainable. This job I'm doing right now is not sustainable. So we're still, we've appealed for Jen's, Social Security. It could take up to 2 years before we hear back on the appeal. It's a depressing time. It really, really is. But I don't lose hope. I keep going. I keep trying. I've tried to go and see if I can get a regular job, but because of my back, I can't. I'm literally disabled. The government considers me disabled. They are paying me, but I don't get any of that money, as I said before, until 2034. And I don't want to explain it again. It's a whole process that the Army has to get all of their money back that they gave me when I originally got out. And then when I came in to the Guard, I had to pay all the severance package that they gave me back because I came back in. And since I'm retired now, I don't get any of that money. It goes to the paying off the severance package before I can get any of it. So yes, in 10 years from now, I'll be okay. But right now I'm not. So that's why I do these little things where we do these drunk streams and these other little things to hopefully try to make ends meet for the month and all that kind of stuff. It's a process. I'm not going to sit here and complain and make you guys feel sorry for me. Nobody's got to feel sorry for me. It's a part of life, right? Take care of your own, do what you got to do. And I will keep continuing to do what I have to do to try to make ends meet. I'll do it. You don't have to feel sorry for me. I had a moment in my life from 2018 to 2020 where I was making more than any of you. And I was doing very, very well. I saved all that money because I knew you couldn't keep that job forever. So that's what got us through 2020 to 2024-ish. Because I saved all that money that we made from Facebook. And then now that all that money is gone, we are where we are. So I will just continue to try to do the best that we can and not lose hope. Yeah. YouTube is not, listen, Mike, you might have the chance for it to be sustainable because you've got a pretty good following, and people come back every time for your videos. So you might, you might be okay. There's certain people that can be okay, but for me, it's not as. I mean, I have 340,000 subscribers, but I don't get that many people watching every single day. So I've showed you guys in my video analytics. I mean, like as far as the amount of people that are actually coming every single day, it's not that much. In the last month or so, I've made 361,000 views. So that's, a lot of people would say, whoa, that's a lot, but that's what it comes to. And that's not enough to take care of a family of 3 people when that's your only job. So it's just not enough when your house is already, $1,300, and then you've got bills, and then you've got food, and then you've got anything else. And this is an outlier. I don't make normally that much money. That's only like I showed the previous, the previous months or whatever in revenue. Normally, look, in May, I made 17. I made $300 more than my mortgage. I got lucky in June because of a certain game that came out. I don't even remember what game it was or whatever, but, and then it went back down to 18. And then I've been lucky. I got lucky in September, and that was because of Metal Gear. Metal Gear came out. Metal Gear did decently well, and it got me up there. If you do YouTube for a living, 3,000 minimum, it should be what, at least for someone like me, 3,000 minimum is what I should be making in order to pay for my bills and my food and everything. And as you can see, I don't make nearly as much. Now, if you looked for, previous times, like obviously we're only taking over here, but like say if we went to a custom period of, let's say, what was I making in, I don't know. Here we go. Let's go, because we got to do it from 2020 because it won't count. So let's say January 2020 to December of 2020 in that year. Let's just say that year. I don't know if it'll count everything. That year we made $25,000. Everyone knows that if you make under $30,000 a year, that's not that good. Now, during this time, some of it, I was still making YouTube money. Facebook. I lost my partnership at the beginning. Actually, I lost my partnership in January of 2020. That's when I lost it. But look at that. I only made $1,231 in January of that month. Then I started doing YouTube a lot more because Facebook was gone. So we did start to gain a little bit more, and you can see that it was going up. And even in December, I actually made 3,000. So that was like the 1 month I made enough to pay for everything. But I had a lot of money saved because of Facebook. So you can see, you can do more customs if you do, let's do 21. This will probably be a little bit more, maybe. Yeah, look at that. I went up double. That's because I started doing YouTube again full time, and I was getting a lot more views back then. So even though you can see, hold on, that's counting double. Oh, that's why. Oops. Didn't do, there we go. All right, so what did I make? Again, 34. That's still more than what I had before, and everything was up in the 3s. I almost, in June, I don't know why that's there. And June was my biggest month. I think that's when Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts came out, and I think that did really, really, really well for me. So, see, we still make money from YouTube Premium. It's not as much. I have YouTube Premium, and that is the best thing I've ever had from YouTube, is having YouTube Premium, because I haven't had to watch any ads. And the reason we stopped, and the reason I got YouTube Premium was not because of me, it was because of my daughter. So my daughter would just start crying immediately whenever an ad would show up, because she's watching her show and then she doesn't understand that an ad has to play. So And this was when she was really young. She was only 1 year old. So she would just start crying because she watched, a lot of like super simple songs and stuff like that because she loved watching those things as a little kid. So I've had YouTube Premium, and we don't use Premium is so good. Premium means that when she watches her stuff on her iPad, I don't have to sit there and listen to her cry. But it also means I don't have to sit there and watch, all the ads. Trust me, I hate ads too. I've always said on this channel, if I made enough money on this channel, that I would not put any ads on my videos. If we made enough in like Patreon or members or things like that. But unfortunately we don't. So I have to have ads on there or I'm not getting really anything. But you could see like right there. Okay. We were doing somewhat okay, but I was still paying out of pocket from all that I saved up because it wasn't enough, to afford bills and stuff. So if you go back to custom again, and then you go to 22, in 2022 is around the same. But the only reason it was around the same was because of that December month that we had going into 2023. If you remember when I did that video, the rabbi thing, that made 1 million views, and that was able to get us over the top for that. So still 33,000 for a family of 3 is not enough. It's not enough to pay for things. And you also have to remember that taxes, as a YouTuber, you don't get taxed. Well, you get taxed, but you don't get taxed until tax season comes up. So throughout the entire year, none of this is taxed. And at the very end, when you're filing your taxes for the next year, that is when you have to pay the tax. So you're starting to see. And if we go into custom here, we can do 23. And this is when it starts getting lower. So now we're dipping into 1,900 was the least that I made. And I was making usually around 2 something. Now I'd have to have something go mega viral for me to get to the 2200s, which is what just happened with the Hitman thing. So you could see the trend. And then we go to 2024, 22,000. And most of the months were in the thousands. Only, look at that. In 2024, I only had 2 months that was over 2,000. Look at that. That is not even enough to pay rent, or not rent, but my mortgage. So you could see how it was getting really tough. And the only reason I was able to make it through 24 was because of the donations from you guys. When I started doing platinums, we would get donations, and the sponsorship that I got from Elizabeth, who has been here on the channel now for the last 2 years and who has helped us out in so many ways. So she and you guys that have donated is what saved the channel in 24. Otherwise it was done. Now, if we look at this year, we're at 18,000 now, but if you look, it didn't get any better. However, we have had 3 months of getting into the 2000s, which is still not good, but I'm not, and I've been bailed out a little bit because we had a Hitman, we had a 007 sponsorship, we had a Hitman sponsorship, I had a few other sponsorships from Stream Elements, I had a sponsorship from Elizabeth again, and of course donations from streams. So that's what's kept us afloat. There's no new games coming out. Maybe Call of Duty that might get a few views, but I can't think of any other new games that I'm going to get any money from for the rest of the year. Call of Duty might, just because some people usually show up to the first stream, but that'd be about it when we do the Call of Duty single player story and we stream it. What else? What other things? I'm guessing, but I don't think the Outer Worlds 2 is going to get a lot of viewers for me. There's no other stealth games coming out this year. The 24/7, that's Hercules. Now you're starting to realize why I've come up with extra stuff to hopefully try to bring in more people, which is the 24/7 thing. So yeah, maybe when I do 24/7 Metal Gear Solid, whenever I do that, maybe that'll get a few views and hopefully bring some new people in. That's the whole point, is I'm trying to figure out what I can do to bring more people in. I'm trying to do it. And so, I'm trying to stay consistent, which I know it's really hard for me just because of the nature of me and my ADHD and everything like that. And I know you don't see results unless you are consistent. And you have to be consistent for months before you see those results. I know that. Trust me, I do. Well, see, the reason I'm able to get early copies of games is because of Ubisoft. They always usually give me an early copy of a game, but unfortunately lately their games have just sucked. So, as far as me getting good games, I'm able to get good games because I'm a Microsoft partner. So like I have an in with Microsoft, and that's how I'm able to do that. I can try to put in a word for you, Mike, as far as that goes. I don't know if anything will come from that or not, but I can most definitely at least try. I've been lucky enough that Microsoft has me a part of their list that I'm able to get stuff early from. And even when I don't get early things from them, I go out of my way to ask my Microsoft contact to say, hey, do you guys happen, I just did this for Vampire Masquerades, right? Bloodlines 2, I think it just came out. I asked Microsoft, I said, hey, do you guys have any chance have a review copy for Bloodlines 2? And she told me, unfortunately we don't right now. So they don't get every game, but they get some games. The other thing is, Mike, I can give you things where there's websites that allow you to get games. Those would be like Lurkit. Lurkit is a community thing for creators where you can get early copies. Another one is Key something. I don't even remember the name of it. Keymailer or something like that is another one. And most of the time I don't get a lot of things. So I don't get every game that I get for free. I can't help you out with PlayStation because I was able to get in with PlayStation somehow, but I got so freaking lucky that I'm a part of PlayStation's partnership or whatever. And even with them, there are sometimes I don't get a game from them. Yeah, like I had to reach out to my Xbox contact to get the Outer Worlds 2. CD keys? No. That kind of stuff is where you can get games for cheaper. That's not actually developers or a media company. PR of those developers are getting you games early. Red Dead Redemption 1 right now, I don't think would do well if I did that right now. I think I want to wait until more news on Red Dead Redemption 2 getting remastered. If that news comes out, if Red Dead Redemption 2 remastered news comes out, that would be the perfect time to do Red Dead Redemption 1. It's all about hitting when the market is at its best for that game. If you just randomly do a game and there's no marketing behind that game at that time, it's not going to be as popular for me to do it at that time. Right? So you try to hit it when the trend of that game is up. Like when a new game in that series is coming out. That's when you try to market my playthroughs of certain things. When like right before a new game is coming out in the series, I'll do the one before it. So you kind of get an understanding there. And then yeah, so there's only it's October right now. Okay. So let's think of this realistically. It's October, meaning that There's only November and December left. Well, you've already seen ongoing. Right now, I've made 1847 so far in October. So there's how many more days are left in the month? So there's the 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got 9 more days in October. Let's say I get $50 a day, which is where I usually end up getting around on my channel or so. So 9 days, $50 a day. So 50, 6 or 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. So add $450 to October. So I'm looking at about 2,300 I might get for the month of October. So add 2,300 to that. So you're looking at about maybe 21,000 and then 2 months to go. And we'll say we get 2,000 per month because there's no new games coming out. So 4,000, 21 plus 4. My total for this year is going to be probably 25,000. Anyone knows that $25,000 a year for a family of 3 is borderline. You can't live off that. You just can't. I know. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, there's going to be, does this count 17? I don't think I looked at 17. Oh. I don't know if it's going to count. Yeah, see, it doesn't. Yeah. But I can tell you that from January 1st, 2017 to October now, I've made $181,000. At Facebook alone, in 2018, I made $250,000 in Facebook in 2018 alone. And in the past 7, 8 years, well, it doesn't really count until 18. So it didn't start counting until 19. So from the last 6 years, from 2019 to now, I made still less than what I made in 1 year when I had Facebook. I got so lucky that they came around the time they did. Awful company to work for. I felt guilty every single day, but it helped me to save up enough money to live for the last 5 years. But that money is gone. So I sleep in the bed that I made. And I'm going to try to continue to do better and be better and try to be more consistent, try to do the best that I can. Everybody goes through struggles. I'm no different than anyone else. All I care about is my family. So I will keep doing what I can to take care of them. So all you guys that watch me, all 44 of you in here, I appreciate you. I mean, it means a lot to have your view. It means a lot to have your like. It means a lot to just have you guys here with me, and I will continue to try to do. Yeah, I was one of the first Facebook gaming partners. How many people are there's still 7 people. I don't know what is going on, but I feel like because I feel like because I went viral that one time, it's like I've been like shadow banned now because I went viral once. Because look at that, only 6 people in here right now that are watching the Resident Evil series. I thought this would do significantly better. Like, just look at how much down it's just gotten. It didn't even get over, the most we've gotten so far is not even to 30. So that's just crazy. I thought it would get more. But it's not going anywhere. So either YouTube gave us a big boost once, and then they said, all right, no boost for you. Now we're going to lower your views. So I don't know. It could just be because, nobody cares about Resident Evil right now. I did this because it was Halloween and I thought how perfect to put uh, Halloween stuff on there. Hercules, the Resident Evil stream isn't showing up on your page. Well, Hercules, have you made sure that my notifications show on your channel? Because there's something you specifically have to do. In order to have notifications on, you have to click on a channel. You have to click on my channel, and then you have to click this button, and then you have to make sure that it says all. Not personalized, not none, but all. If you don't have it set to all, I won't show up. It'll only tailor certain people to your channel, that even if you're subscribed. But that's the biggest thing I could say for all of you to do. Like, you go to my channel, you click on this, and if you want to make sure my notifications show up, you have to click all. If you don't, you're not going to see. You're just not. So, just kind of how it is. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not complaining that there's only 7 people in there. That'd be stupid for me. Yeah, you got to make sure it's set to all. If it's not set to all, you'll only get some. Like, you might get one of my notifications, but you will not get every single one of them. Now, how many people do I have watching over on Twitch? I bet you I have 3 people. Seven. I got more people watching on Twitch. I got more people watching over on Twitch. Hey, yeah, thanks for coming, Mike. I hope I helped you with your stream stuff, as far as those notifications and all that stuff going. Yeah, so I got more people watching on Twitch than I do on YouTube. So that tells me YouTube is something's going on with YouTube. Do me a favor, a few of you, obviously. Go on YouTube and then type in Resident Evil and then click search and see if my live stream shows up. Because it's this live stream. Because it's obviously going to show up. It's going to show up on mine because I've recently went to it, but it needs to be someone who hasn't recently searched that to see if it shows. It could just be nobody's caring for Resident Evil right now. I don't know. It just could be the time of day. There's so many different factors that could relate into it, but I mean, it really went from it's crazy. Yeah. About 6, 7 down. You would think anyone that's live, it would show up first, but I don't know. And I know we're not going to get a lot of people for the drunk stream tomorrow. I get it. It's fine. I just want some of you in there, for us to have fun. Jen's going to join with me. We're going to be playing some Jackbox games. So you'll get the chance, if you're in there and you got a phone, to join us in some of our games. So I'm going to play with viewers. It'll be fun. I might even play a little bit of something like Alien Isolation, just so she could scream a little bit. You don't see it when you type in Resident Evil. See? Yeah. First, you guys are subscribers. So imagine if someone who's not subscribed types in Resident Evil and I'm not showing up in there. How can anybody see it? That's why it's so important to leave likes, to watch for longer periods of time. That's why it's so important. If you guys aren't leaving likes and aren't commenting and aren't watching for longer, the algorithm won't share to other people outside of that. So it takes us all to keep this channel going, every single one of us. I'll keep trying to do my part and, doing the best that I can. Hold on. Did I set it for the wrong date? No, except for the 24th. I think you're confused, angry because you're on a different part of the world. My stream is set for the 24th, which is tomorrow, at 7 p.m. But for you, you're in a different time zone, angry. So for your stream, I'm streaming on the 25th. You'll be okay, buddy. Angry just forgot what time zone he's in. It happens. But I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm just so afraid. I'm so afraid that I do this Hitman Platinum and it not really have anybody in there. But you gotta do games. I can't sit here and not stream. So I've just been sick the past few days, so that's why I haven't. But yes, so and I don't think I can. I'm sorry, I can't stream Monday because I got to go on a field trip with my daughter because she has a field trip coming up on Monday, and it was recommended that the parents go, and both parents. So I can't stream on Monday. So when we do Hitman Platinum, it's going to have to be, we're going to have to do something this weekend. I feel like I'm missing out on a very, very important time period during the week, which is the weekend, where a lot of people can watch. And since I stream during the week, Monday through Friday, I don't do anything on Saturday and Sunday. I just try to work on videos or, other things, but I don't stream on Saturday and Sunday. I think I lose out on a lot of potential people. It's tough, man. If you want to be a streamer, man, you got to devote your life, all of your time. I miss the days where I could just sit and do videos, because when I can just sit and do videos, I could do it on my own time. I didn't have any pressure. I just record, do what I got to do and then put it out there whenever I'm done. And then I don't worry about how many people are watching, and I just do it. I miss those days so much. But YouTube's not the same anymore, man. Only the top guys get video walkthroughs and get a lot of money from it. So I don't know anymore. It's a tough time. It's a tough time for older creators like myself. A lot of people would just tell you to give up, that there's no point in doing it anymore. But I'm stubborn. You guys know how stubborn I am when I spend 2 hours on a boss fight. But everybody else did too, because it was a hard boss fight in Ghost of Yote. Yeah. I mean, I'll continue to do the best that I can. Just stop into the live stream over, on the Resident Evil one every now and then to help get the view time up, so that hopefully YouTube's algorithm will start being a little bit more favorable to it. But I mean, I don't know what I expect, because there's other YouTube channels out there that do 24/7. So I'm not the only one. See, look, there's a bunch of them out there. Look, see, this channel does almost like 15 different ones at the same time. So look, they even got a Resident Evil one. So people are watching that Resident Evil one instead of mine, which makes sense. They've probably been going for the last year with this stream. So, I'm just trying to get into it, just trying to help the channel out any way that I can. But it's not like I'm the first person that thought of 24/7. I mean, see, there's just so many people doing 24/7 live streams. I'm just trying to see what works, see what doesn't, and do the best that I can, and hopefully continue what I love to do. That's all I can do, right? I don't want to give up on the stream. That's why I keep fighting. I don't want to give up. I love this too much. I've spent all these years, a lot of my adulthood with this channel. And I still love it. I still do. I get depressed every now and then, and because I'm nowhere near what I used to be. But we all go through those sometimes. We all, like I always go back to that Jim Carrey quote of where he says, you can spend your life hating what you do for a living, or you can spend your life trying to love what you do for a living, but both can fail. So why not go for the one you like instead of the one you don't? Because if both can fail, why not go for your dreams? You're going to have the same shot of it failing or not. So take the one you enjoy over the one you don't. But when it comes to this job, it's really tough, and you got to sacrifice a lot of things. But I'm in too deep right now, and so I don't want to just give up on it yet. But there might be a time in a few years, in a year, where I make that video, which is like I'm done. So, but the good thing is I at least tried, and I got all of these 9,000 videos to show for it. And anytime people can watch all of my old content, and it's there. I'm not ever going to delete the channel. It's always going to be there. Yeah. And it happens to everybody. There comes a time, a lot of the bigger YouTubers have quit now because they don't enjoy what they do anymore. And a lot of the medium YouTubers have quit because, like me, they're not making as much money on it anymore and they can't do it anymore. So there's many reasons, I honestly wish I just did this as a hobby, because I could enjoy this so much more if I just did it as a hobby as opposed to full time. It's just too much stress. It's too much worrying. I want to be positive every time I show up on screen. I want to be happy. I want to teach you guys about video games, spread love of video games. That's what I want to do. And, the market today, though, it's all about live streaming. It's all about this. And, I can't live off Splinter Cell. I can't live off Hitman. I can't live off all those games anymore. Those games don't come out anymore. And when they do, I might get a few views and then it's back to normal. So anytime you guys have any ideas on what I can do that might make this YouTube channel grow, I'm all for it. That's why I always say leave comments. Let me see what you guys are saying. What can I do to bring more people in? I appreciate all of you that have stayed here for all these years. But we also need to get the ones that will come and leave. We need to find out how to keep them. And that's a struggle. It's a super hard struggle. And me talking like this doesn't help, because immediately when someone comes in and they see I'm complaining and I'm, whatever, it brings people off to the channel. So these types of things here, they don't help either, but sometimes I just need to talk to you guys and let you know the frustrations out there, because we're in this together one way or another. I know you guys got your whole lives outside of this channel on the internet that you have to deal with and worry about. But, you guys are a part of my life, because my life depends on all of you. And so, I might be in it a little bit more, because it needs to be successful to keep going. But I'm lucky for what I've had so far. And that's when it does come to an end, I get to relive some of the greatest highs that we've had. So, but yes, I'm looking for the next platinum to be Hitman World of Assassination. I'll go ahead and make that call. Yeah, it'll start next week. Hopefully it'll do well. And hopefully we'll have lots of fun. Support wherever you can. Leave likes, comments on all the videos. Watch some of my old content. You know, there's all kinds of things out there that maybe you've missed throughout the years. Go through my video list, and you can always get there just from my main channel page, and then you just click on videos, and then you can start from the oldest, and you can go through the history of the channel and see where we've come from and how far we've come throughout the years and the setbacks we've had, and all that. And then you can also take a look at the live page, and you can go from our very first live streams from 13 years ago, messing with the live stream. I don't even know what the hell I was doing there. Oh, it was back when YouTube looked so freaking weird. I remember when I did a live stream where we went through the history of the channel. You guys remember that? Feels so long ago now. Yeah. I remember using Action all those years ago. You can see the history of all my live streams. That's pretty crazy. I bet you there's some live streams in here that I don't even remember doing. Yeah, that would be a good idea. But that takes time and effort. And where do you see me have time to make videos? That's the problem. I live and die by live streams at this point. So finding time to do videos like that are becoming so far in between. My gosh. One of these days I have to go through here and take a look at some of my old streams. I did a GoldenEye stream. I don't even remember that. I did a GoldenEye Source stream? 9 years ago? I don't even remember that. I remember I did an early access live stream for Mankind Divided. Yeah, I remember that. Star Citizen. One of my first streams for Star Citizen. Oh my gosh. Even some of my Let's Plays, I continued my walkthrough in live stream format for Deus Ex. Yeah, you probably find some interesting bangers in here. For sure. Look at that one on 32,000 views on that stream. Of course, it was Hitman. Maybe I should just turn this channel into a Hitman stream, Hitman game. I do nothing but Hitman for the rest of my life. I would probably end up losing all my hair if I did that. I even turned my original Horizon Zero Dawn thing into streams. Even, see, when I did streams 8 years ago, I was making some pretty decent streams. Now that I do them, I barely get anybody. So I think people are sick of me. I think I'm sick of me. Why are you guys still here? I'd be sick of me if I were you. I remember when I did a Rock Band VR stream. Do you remember that? Oh my gosh, I remember this. Look at my little boy. Look at little Strain there. Look at him in his Superman shirt. That was back when I lived. I remember this house. Okay. This was before. Was this Deering? No. I think this was before Facebook. Oh my God. How stupid. All right, I don't want this to get copyrighted, so. Because I was doing videos for it instead of live stream, because I wanted to do a proper walkthrough. That's why. Sometimes I like to do So when I stream, I try to stream platinums of games unknown. So when I think I'm just going to do a walkthrough, then I try to do that in video format. You know, I try to do a mix of both. What about my most Ooh, I've never looked at my most popular live streams. So obviously 6.1 million 9 years ago. Sniper Ghost Warrior 2. That's that one I told you where we had a lot of views 1 month in June. That's from that one. 429,000 on it. That's wow. Codename 47. So I did my walkthrough and then I did a stream of the game where I tried to play it in one sitting. I also did. Yeah, I can't believe that got 249,000 views. Man, Hitman, look at Hitman, man. Maybe my channel is a Hitman channel. What the hell am I doing streaming all this other shit? I have played Guitar Hero Live before. I don't think I did any videos because of copyright. I mean, back then, I lost my first channel, Center Strain, without the 01 because of copyright from Rock Band. So I tend to not do rhythm games anymore. I delete them immediately. Like I just did a stream playing Clone Hero drums a few nights ago, but you won't see that because it's deleted unless you watched it live. Most of my biggest games are Hitman. I remember that. We did the Matrix Experience. That was 3 years ago. Remember when I did that? I remember that. GTA 5 did pretty well. That's what's going to be playing during the live stream, during the 24/7 is this one. 57K. So I didn't do too bad there. So yeah, sometimes streams get decent numbers, man. Sometimes they do. I don't even know what the hell that is. Some of these things I don't even remember. Wow, look at that, man. We did freaking Sherlock Holmes and that got 32,000 views. I can't even imagine getting that much anymore on a game that's not like triple A. You know what I mean? Nicholas, if you ever want to know if I've done something, you just get on my main channel and you just click this little search button, Nicholas. That's all you got to do. Because guess what? If you type the game in, you'll see that I have a full playthrough of Prototype 2 that you would have probably never known that I've done. Dishonored? Oh my gosh, you must be really new. I've got all playthroughs of all the Dishonored games, 100% stealth. Yeah, so there's so many things that you can look at. Same thing with Crysis. You know, I got Crysis walkthroughs and Crysis 2 remastered, Crysis 3 stealth walkthrough, Thief. I did all of them, man. Stream a Thief live stream. Well, that new Thief VR game is coming out. Remember, guys, you can also check out all the playlists I have too. And this will go on for days. So if you ever want to see certain games, remember when we did Callisto Protocol? That was a fun. Didn't get a lot of views for it. Look at Younger Strain, 2-year Younger Strain. What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your host here, and welcome. The Callisto Protocol. This is the same room. It's just in a different part of the room. I was on that wall, the wall directly behind me. But yeah, let's look at my analytics. How much have I made this month? All right, so look, that first stream did get up to 159 people. Super chat got $21. What? That is definitely not right. I have no idea why it says new subscribers 13,202. I can assure you that with only 1,759 viewers total, I did not get 13,202 new subscribers. No idea why that says that. That's lifetime. So that whole thing made me 4 subscribers. Where did the other one come from? So that made me 4 subscribers. But what have I earned in the last 28 days? I'm breaking records, folks. 4 cents. I'm breaking records. I bet you if you typed in the Callisto Protocol, I won't even show up anywhere. Yeah. Oh, but the big guys show up. Big guys always show up. Oh, yeah. Sinistrain is left in the dust. He'll never show up. Where he's at, nobody knows. He's nowhere in sight. Even people with less views show up before me. Honestly, I wish I knew the keys. The keys to going viral, the keys to breaking through YouTube's algorithm system. I wish I knew, but I don't. So, well, anyways, guys, yep. All right. Well, there you go. That's all I got today, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow night, obviously. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 for Outer Worlds 2. And then tomorrow night for our fun stream with all of you. So I hope to see you guys there. Just come and stop by, say hello at least. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'll see you tomorrow also for Outer Worlds 2. We'll do a stream. You know what? Before we do that, though, I'll do this here right now. I'll make the live stream right now. Just put gameplay. I don't know what else to put on there, honestly. Yeah, this is what I do every single time. I'll do this one just because I like the. But if I do this, I have to, you have to make sure colors match up good enough. Oops. All right, so we can have. I could probably take this guy. I think that'll be fun if we put him on top. I need a good sized image though for this. So size large. That's the largest I got. I might have to make him. What about this one? That might be a little bit better. Let's take that one. Save that one. All right. Now I'm just finding a background. That's a good background. All right. So then we go over to here. Background image. I hope you guys like the new thumbnails. I've kind of settled on this new style for thumbnails. I might go back to the other one I was using, but This is kind of what I've kind of settled on over lately. So what I want to do is I want to have this be like that. So I just need to make this up. There we go. That way that shows a little bit better. Now, Outer Worlds 2. Take this guy, background. We couldn't detect the background. That sucks. So they can't detect this right here. Now I can do the magic eraser in hopes that it detects it a little bit better. Still can't detect it. See, that would be a perfect one, but it's cut off. You see how hard this is? I just want to take the guy. There we go. Now that might detect him. Let me try this one and see if this detects him or not. So let's move that. I'll upload this one. Now, there's not really a better way that I can think of. Just the magic eraser, but the magic eraser, all that does is just remove like certain elements, but it keeps the picture normal. And I don't even know if you can trace. Because what I want to do is I want to just have this guy in the background and put him. But I can't see. That's too blurry. So that wouldn't work either. I don't know what else I could do here. I don't want to take these guys because that, you try to do things that make the art stand out. Maybe if I do characters and then do ping. There we go. Now that might be so much better. Let's see if this one works. Okay. So, perfect. There we go. Now, I can just get rid of this section. That way we just have him right there. Let's bring it a little in. And then bring it up. Make this just a little bit smaller. So I could put this down here, duplicate it into just say live stream gameplay, I guess. I don't really know if this makes you want to watch my gameplay or not. Of course, I can turn that 4K up a little bit just to make it stand out a little bit more. Wouldn't mind doing a little round corner to make it a little bit more unique. Uh, why would you remove the blast from the gun? I would keep that in there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now maybe instead of having this be gray, I could turn this into like a different color that kind of matches the faux of the Outer Worlds a little bit more. I think maybe this blue or that one. Kind of, it goes with it kind of, but I'd have to move this over so that it doesn't hit the thing. There we go. And the same for this one. And like that. Hi, baby. You doing okay today?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you excited for tomorrow?
I'm excited.
And she just can't hide it. She's about to lose control. And I think she likes it. So something like that. What do you think? What do you think right there? You like that? Now just take me out of there, obviously. I mean, my stupidness. But live stream gameplay. Good enough for government work, right? All right. All right. I think that's good enough for tags. Um, all right. There you go. All right. We got 2 live streams going on right now and 2 upcoming. See, one of the things I'm afraid of doing it the way that I'm doing it, like having a live stream going on all the time, is that it's going to bring less people to my actual live stream. That's one of the things I fear, is that more people, for when I'm live streaming certain games on the 24/7, are going to be more interested in watching that live stream than coming to my actual live stream. So we won't really know. Why do I got a Fallout New Vegas in there? Because Obsidian Entertainment made Fallout New Vegas. So a lot of people are typing in Fallout New Vegas right now on YouTube, because they want to see what Obsidian did before. So that's why I typed in Fallout New Vegas. So you try to hit the trends and you try to, stay in line. Obsidian has done Fallout New Vegas before. So it makes sense to include that in the tag for those that are, it's to help the algorithm, hopefully. But that's the reason. All right. Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talk, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed another behind the scenes look and just an update and all that kind of stuff. You guys are awesome. Please don't forget to comment on the video. I know a lot of you comment during the live stream, but remember, the live stream comments, they don't mean anything. Not when it comes to algorithm. What the algorithm needs is likes, comments, and view duration. This is what matters. That doesn't matter, or well, that matters, yes, but this doesn't matter here. It's what matters below the video. So, all right. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Check out the Resident Evil thing whenever you get a chance. And I will see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. for The Outer Worlds 2. We'll check it out for a few hours. And then tomorrow night, we'll have a fun stream of Jennifer and I losing all of our inhibitions and hopefully, having a good time. Love you guys. We'll see you next one. Peace.